The one thing you need to realize is that social charisma is not about what you say or do. It's about how you make people feel. Because done without the right mindset, any tactical adjustments will only give people the vibe that you're just in the conversation because you're looking to get something out of them. And trust me, I have made that mistake. And it's made the people who I most wanted to be close to shy away from me. But when I am able to focus on others and how I make them feel, then not only does my confidence go up in any social environment, but my charisma does as well. And this generates real relationships and influence. So today we're going to be talking about that mindset shift and how we can go about it in the most effective ways possible. At the end of the day, really what this boils down to is the differences between charisma and confidence. Confidence, it's a very helpful thing. It's something that we need to address, but it's very self-centered. And when we create tactical adjustments around confidence, what ends up happening is we become very focused on the things that we are saying or we are doing. We begin to have this dialogue in the back of our heads that goes something like, oh, what should I say in this particular situation? Or does my smile seem genuine? Or what can I say to make this person trust me? And again, there's nothing wrong with a lot of those thoughts, and you do want to have a lot of those good positive things, but it's all self-centered. And the problem with making any of these techniques or these dialogues that are running in the back of our head as the focal point of any interaction with people is that it makes us needy. There's this subconscious alarm system that's going off in the back of somebody's head that says, hey, this guy wants something from me, right? This girl's after something to get something out of me. And that naturally raises their internal defenses. Now, they may not be able to verbalize those concerns and those thoughts, but there's something going off on the inside of their head that says, I need to get out of this situation. I don't like being here. I don't like the way I feel as I'm around this person. And most of us have actually been on the receiving end of that. Just think back to the last time that you were approached by somebody who wanted something from you. And they may not have said it explicitly. They may not have been trying to sell you something, but internally, you could feel this sensation that they were looking to get something from you. And even with people that we care about, that are our friends and family, and that we just generally love, it can leave a bad taste in our mouths. And so regardless of who this person is or what their relationship is, it never leads to a positive experience whenever we make the focus on any kind of tactical adjustment that we are trying to make. Now, at this point, you might be wondering if creating influence with another person is not about the way that they see me, then what is it about? And the answer to that is it's about how you make them feel, specifically how you make them feel about themselves. One of the interesting things about human beings is that our self-worth is often determined by the way that we perceive the answers to 3 specific questions. Now, these questions, we all have some kind of positive belief in. It's just kind of wired into us. Otherwise, we would really hate ourselves. The first belief being that I am a genuinely, or at least generally, a good person, right? Deep down in my core, in my heart, I mean well, right? That's the first one. The second one is that I am a competent, skillful individual in the areas that matter the most to me. Right? I might not know the most about everything, but in the areas that I care about, in my craft, in my field, in my profession, in my family, in my faith, I know my stuff. And then the final belief is that I am a self-directed individual. Nobody controls me. I am independent and autonomous. Now, those are the beliefs in their full yes or no format, right? Like if we were 100% on any one of those, it would be exactly the way I said it, where we would be all in on that belief. But most people aren't all in on those beliefs. They're shades of gray, if you will. Some people are 70% on their capacity and skill and intelligence, while they're 95% on their character. But they might feel like they might not have full and complete control of their lives because they're being pulled and influenced by other things. And so there's a wide range of different possibilities in terms of where on those scales that we might fall and feel. But collectively, the answers to those three questions that we would ask ourselves, or where we fall on those scales, will determine our self-worth psychologically, subconsciously. And this applies to everybody. Everyone has these same core beliefs, and most people feel the need to have them validated from time to time. Most of us want to know that other people see us the way that we see ourselves, or at least see us the way we see our best selves when we are on our A game, if you will. And we want that validation. It's natural. It's just part of the human experience. And if we understand this, we can take it and use it so that way we can help lift other people to believe in themselves and to see the best and to see what they're actually capable of and inspire that in them, or validate what's already in them. And when we're able to do that in any social setting, and we can help people validate any of these three areas of their lives and do it genuinely, then we are actually going to generate true relationships and influence and charisma with other people. All of a sudden, they feel fantastic when they're around us because we are affirming these internal beliefs. And that's what makes people really want to be around us. When we feel a certain way around a certain person, when I see Bob over in the corner, I'm like, hey, I want to go talk to Bob, because last time I talked to Bob, I had a really good experience with Bob. And so going back to the point of the video, just by shifting what we are trying to do from ourselves to how we make other people feel is what's going to ultimately create a true connection, true influence, and really up our charisma game in any environment. And regardless of how you label yourself as either an introvert or an extrovert, this is something that is accessible to everybody. Now, there is a bit of a natural advantage to those who are introverted, as well as to those who are anxious. It might sound a little counterintuitive, but the fact of the matter is that when you are anxious or when you are more introverted, you are both more observant because you're quieter, you're able to see, you're more perceptive. And then if you're on the anxious spectrum, you're more sensitive. You are more in tune with the feelings and needs of other people. And so you're naturally more observant, and you can spot where people may or may not feel the most comfortable with themselves. They might feel really strong in their capacity to perform well at work or to perform well in the gym, but they might have some kind of bluff or character flaw or defect that they are very uncertain about or have a lot of insecurity around. And often we can see that just because we have a lot of those insecurities ourselves and we're able to perceive them in others. And so as a result of that, it almost goes without saying, we should be a little bit more observant in our relationships and in our interactions with people. Notice the opportunities to create a sincere and genuine compliment and to target those areas where people might feel the need for a specific validation. And by being able to do that, especially over time and consistently, and most importantly, with real, genuine force and meaning that you actually mean to that other person. I'm not talking about going around giving out half-baked compliments here. What I'm talking about is really noticing and paying attention to people and perceiving their needs and their wants by being sensitive and open to them. And by doing that, we actually create true, lasting friendships. And to do this, it really boils down to two fundamental skills. First of all, we need to develop the habit and the muscle for looking for the good in others and building people up. And then secondly, we need to be secure and strong enough in each of our own three areas. That way we have that self-assurance and that self-confidence in our own belief systems and who we are as individuals, and we don't need to go looking for it from others. But at the same time, as we give to more people and as we validate other people will begin to do the same thing for us. And it becomes this positive, virtuous cycle of affirmation and validation. Now, the key is we do need to continue to work on each of those three areas. We need to continue to improve our character. We need to continue to develop additional strengths and intelligence in our workplaces and in our homes. And at the same time, we do need to make sure that we are directing our lives without any external influence that we do not approve of. And we need to be aware of where those influences are coming from, because the real purpose of influence, or the real accomplishment of influence, is not really trying to get anything from anyone. It's really about being your best in such a way that you inspire others to be their best. And so social interactions, relationships, friendships, at any and every level and in every circumstance is an opportunity for us to develop our character. It's an opportunity for us to strengthen our skills and our capacity to help others and to make a positive impact in the world. And at the same time, to be guided by our own set of moral principles and values and drive that in our own lives from our own internal core, rather than needing some kind of external support to prop us up. And social interactions are just an opportunity to practice all three of those. And the amazing thing is that if you can practice this in your social interaction, it applies to all other areas of performance in your life. These three core concepts of your character, your skill, and your self-determination all roll into work. They roll into your marriage. They roll into your family. They roll into who you are in your faith and in your belief system. These unlock high performance in every aspect of your life. And social opportunities are just an opportunity to practice that. And if you can do that with real intent, with real sincere desire to uplift and benefit people, they will feel it and they will be drawn to you. And you will naturally create the strongest friendships anybody could ask for.